Morning, guys. Christine again. Hope everyone's okay today. Right, this is the next video. I'm going to talk about the buddy effects with disabled. Right, now the buddy effect is one of the best things that can happen because it lets children understand what is wrong with the person. It allows them to ask questions. In a lot of the schools, the disabled person, if they are very disabled, has LSA, which is a learning assistant. Now, the child will predominantly be, probably if they can't speak, they'd be making noises or acting strange or could be disruptive. If that frightens some children, they will keep away. But if some of the children are inquisitive and want to know, it is a good way to introduce the child to the children and explain what is actually wrong with the child. For instance, when I was about possibly 12, I went to Langley Secondary, and we actually weren't making friends, and it was decided we'd go down for breaks, which was absolutely marvellous to me. And when you do your options, I did a couple of things different to the girl I was with, and I went into different classes, and I got talking to people, and because people thought, okay, she's okay, she's in a wheelchair, yes, but she can talk, and she's no different to us. That makes things easier for the children to understand, and it also lets them help you. For instance, when we had lunch at the school, we had some friends that could come in with us and carry our trays and help us in general to get lunch, which was great because they could sit with us and we'd get to know them, and then you'd find things in common, and it also gave them the added opportunity of getting their own dinner probably earlier than they would do. But it also helps the child to have some responsibility, and also to sort of negate, to satisfy their own curiosity. Another, for instance, I had when I was volunteering, the children in my last class took me into the dining room. I had my wheelchair bag on the back of my wheelchair. They actually got my lunch out for me and tidied up without me or any of the adults asking, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. And they actually, it was as though the wheelchair had disappeared in their eyes, and I was actually seen as, yes, I was a person, but I did need help. But in some cases, they actually, this is grown-ups, can make you feel a bother. But if they learn from an early age, this will stop the fright, and it will make them see that we're nothing to be scared of, or we're normal. Another thing, if they're outside interests, for instance, like brownies and guides, and most parents really don't want or are frightened to put them into outside interests like clubs and things like that. My advice is do, because it will get them to mix and get them looking forward to things. Don't sit them in front of the telly. They need fresh air, they need exercise, and most of all, they need a social circle. And when they grow up and are independent, it will make you glad and them glad, because they're able to help themselves. I, for instance, if ever I went to something, I wasn't stopped. In fact, I was taken. I more or less got a stubborn attitude, and if I wanted to do it, I did it. And my attitude to people is, I can do it, don't stop me. But as I say, brownies and guides are one of the best things that you can get a little girl, or on the boys' side into Cubs and Scouts, a little boy. Some grown-ups will stop, but if you are prepared to jump over hoops and fight, and again, this is where indirect discrimination comes into it. Obviously, you've got to check physical aspects. Have they got any steps? Have they got a disabled toilet? This and that. But if you don't ask, you don't obviously get. And you miss out. In fact, I think I missed out on a lot of things, which I unfortunately regret. But that was my growing up and being sheltered, which is a good thing in a way, but a bad thing in another. Okay, I hope that these videos are helping. Please give me some feedback, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.